Yo, boys. So this is the trade we took today. We had no high impact news. We just had news in home sales, which is like didn't really matter too much. But yeah. So the overall structure was bullish, but in the 4-hour time frame, we broke here. So we broke past these wicks, boom, and we failed to make a higher high. Really, I was really just looking for it to break this for bullish confirmation. I wasn't really like taking this as bullish confirmation just because I really saw it as a higher low. So boom, higher low, something like this. This is what I was looking for. We push down a little bit, have a little push up, and then we just come straight down. That's what I kind of saw with this. So I wasn't really looking for longs, mainly just shorts. And then in the lower time frame, I marked out equilibrium. So boom, boom. And this was equilibrium here. And we kind of came into the zone, wicked out of it pretty quickly. So that was another bearish confirmation for me. And then we also kind of had like liquidity here. You could kind of say these lows failed to sweep these, giving me even more bearish confirmation. And then we came in here and we kind of broke here. Boom. We had this little push down and we broke 1 minute structure. So boom, push down, we broke 1 minute structure. We created this for value gap here. Boom, that got filled. And then we also created this little bearish for value gap here that we tapped into and then wigged down. So I entered off of the closure of this and I had my stops at the break of the 5 minute for value gap. So just this 5 minute for value gap, I was just like, if it breaks up here, I was just gonna close it, and it just never broke. So realistically, just had my stops there. That's how much I risked, 4.8. And yeah, it just consolidated for a while. It came up here, and my first TP was at equilibrium of the swing low to swing high, but I didn't take profits there just because it was like, I don't know, it was just like it wouldn't have been good risk management if we would have placed there. So I basically just waited for a 15-minute break out of this fair value gap here. So once it broke here with this candle, it broke, I just moved my stops to break even, and I just had a risk-free trade once it broke. And our TP1 was at the beginning of this 4-hour fair value gap. So this fair value gap here is kind of like covered through all the wicks, but this little 4-hour fair value gap was TP1 right in here. So wick up right there. That was TP1 at the beginning of it, and my second TP was at the bottom of the 4-hour fair value gap, so down here. So TPs were pretty close. So just a 1-to-1 and then a 1 to 2.5. And my last TP was at liquidity here, but it didn't get hit because we rallied back up, took out my stop, my break even, then they ended up dumping. But not really too mad about it. It was a pretty good trade. It did take a while. I hate waiting for trades to like play out, but I just placed my stop up there and I was just risk-free trade, and I was like, I'm really happy with this trade. I think we'll trade tomorrow. We have a bit of news, but nothing too crazy. Just consumer confidence and this FOMC. But as long as it's not PAL, it doesn't really matter. But yeah.